I want to have a discussion about this ending. I want to talk about a few things, give you guys my thesis, if you will, my opinions, and what I have gathered throughout this whole 12-day campaign of playing this game. So I want to kind of have a little discussion about it. Certain things in the game that made me realize some things where I found a little bit of a closure at the end of the game. So we'll discuss that as we go. Obviously, this is the end of the scene right here. This is where Ellie goes in to fight Abby. Not that she has to, but she does anyway. And because she's on this path to revenge. However, I think at this moment, both of them are stripped away from what they had. She lost Dina.
I can't let you leave.
She already lost Joel. Abby lost pretty much everything. The only thing she has left is that boy that's there. His name is Lev. So now the question is, do you forgive, or do you just do the deeds and kill and make that vengeance be the part of your journey? And there's something very significant that happens at the end of this game, which I will talk about when we get there. It has to do something with a guitar and her losing her 2 fingers, and I'm gonna discuss that when we get there. I think it's very significant, and I like that Neil Druckmann put some of these little Easter eggs for you to kind of figure this out, the meaning of it and all that. So I'll get to that when we get to that. Now, a lot of people complain about the fact that this game doesn't give you a choice, you know, like Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain, where you can actually have a choice. Well, it's not that type of a game, you know. The Last of Us was never that type of a game. The Last of Us, it's a type of a game where you have to go through this narrative story that's already written. The story, basically, it's already written. The novel, it's written. The book, it's written, and you have to go through it, basically. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my opinion. I think it's good to have a change. It's good to, for example, imagine, let me give you one example. Imagine if you were reading the same book every single time with the same story. Well, you would never read that novel, that you would never read that individual's book ever again if he was just making the same story and milking the same story over and over again. So when people criticize Neil Druckmann saying that, hey, you didn't stay with the first game, well, of course he doesn't want to stay with the first game. He's done that. He accomplished the first game. There's nothing there to go back to the first game. The first game is good as it is. The story has to evolve. The story has to go somewhere. And the story doesn't need you to have your permission whether you like it or not. The story, it's telling its story the way it's written. So this whole notion, I don't understand about people who are still, I'm doing this on purpose, by the way. I still don't understand this notion of people who feel that, well, this game, it's not designed for me. Well, of course it's not designed for you. And it's not supposed to be designed for you. You were supposed to experience this story for what it is, not for what you want. Hey, what's up, Duna Star? How you doing? So how do you feel? What are your initial thoughts on the ending? Did you finish the game? I think Joel's dying, it's something that in a way was necessary, because if he didn't die, then this story would just drag with more of the same, and I don't know if that's a good thing. More of the same. I don't know if that's it. I mean, how are you gonna evolve? Imagine if Game of Thrones was always the same. No characters die. Everybody's just getting along, and they're just dragging it. The story has to go somewhere. Some people say they killed him too early. Well, it doesn't really matter. Did they kill him early or they didn't kill him early? It doesn't really matter. The story has to evolve. They're going to kill him anyway. He's going to die. Joel was always going to die. Regardless, he was always going to die. That's the important thing people here need to remember. Regardless of what happens, he was going to die no matter what. Okay, and if you live in this world where you want stuff to be to your desire, then that's never going to happen. You're never going to have artists or novelists creating something just for you. Maybe in your fantasy world you can have that. But I personally believe that these stories are here for us to experience. I read so many books from Dean Koontz, one of my favorite writers, right next to Stephen King. And all of his books take you on a journey. Very, very dark, twisted journey. And there's some things in the book, when you go throughout the chapters in most of his books, that keeps you shocked, keeps you afraid, keeps you interested. It has all of these elements put together, and I think that's a great thing. That's why you read the book. That's why you continue moving on through the chapters. And I think that's what The Last of Us is doing. It's keeping you engaged to find out what happens next. Where do we go from here? Now, everybody wants to know, Jesus Christ, the way the part 2 ends, what happens in the part 3? Where do we go from here with the part 3? Well, that's why you want to play the part 3. If you didn't ask the question, oh Jesus, what happens next? Well, guess what? If part 2 was a happy ending, nobody would give a shit about the part 3. People would say, alright, we don't need a part 3. It's a happy ending. Everything's awesome. There has to be something. There has to be a cliffhanger. There has to be something to keep you wanting to see what happens next. The curiosity of what happens next. And I will talk about that once we get to the farm. Hey, what's up, JT? How you doing? So, JT, have you played the game? Have you played the game, and what are your thoughts on it? By the way, this fight is very drooling. It's very excruciating fight. You know, these fights reminds me of a TV show called Spartacus. It's very brutal. It's kind of like a Spartacus. By the way, I'm playing in the very hard. I'm playing this level right here in a very hard. Fuck this fight's crazy. Well, the leaks really don't tell you anything. The leaks really don't tell you much. They just tell you certain parts of what happens in the game, but you don't get the bigger picture. I think that's one of the things that sucks about the leaks, you know. People who do that kind of thing, it's just so... It's so stupid. I don't understand people who want to do that kind of shit. Like, what do they get out of it, man? People who leak stuff, people who put that stuff out there. I don't know what is the what have they accomplished? They really haven't accomplished anything, honestly. It only makes people want to play this game even more. It makes people want to learn more about this game to see where it goes. Oh my God. There you go. After so many years of fighting. Alright. So this is the part where she drowns her. And then she bites her fingers off. And she let her go. But if she killed her, what would that accomplish? What's she gonna do with that boy? Is she gonna let that boy there to die as well? I mean, where do you draw the line of revenge? I mean, what does the revenge satisfy? Nothing, really. Some people say it satisfies like this bloodthirst for equality. Well, they're already equal. They're both equal. She lost everything. Abby lost tremendously everything. Ellie has obviously lost a lot. She lost her mother. She lost her, Joe. She's been through so much pain. And especially the fact that she is the cure and she has to keep herself hidden. And here's another problem. Dina knows who she is. This is another problem for Ellie. I want to talk about that really quick. This is another problem for Ellie. Can she stay in Wyoming? I don't think she's gonna stay in Wyoming, and I'll explain why in Wyoming. When we get to the farm, I'll explain why she doesn't want to stay in Wyoming. And the one biggest problems now she has is that Dina knows that she is immune, that she is the cure. And can you trust Dina? Is Dina gonna start saying something? I know Tommy's not going to say anything, but can you trust Dina and what she's going to do in the future? So that's trouble for her to begin with. So I don't know if she's going to necessarily stay in Wyoming, moving on to the part 3. And if you ask me, how do I know that she's not going to stay in Wyoming? Well, number one, she can't play a guitar anymore. She went to the farm. She took that guitar. She tried to play it. She can't play it because she lost 2 fingers. She let Abby go. And after this flashback memory that she's going to have with Joel, you've seen Ellie leaving guitar, the acoustic guitar, leaving it by the window. That's the guitar that Joel created for her, that he gave it to her as a gift. And her leaving that guitar on that farm and not taking it with her, that means that she's letting go. She's letting go of Joel. She wants to forget him. She wants to move on. She's letting go. She's moving on. And I think that's the message there, that she's moving on. But anyway, we'll get to that later. And now here she's at the farm. She's back to the farm. 2 fingers missing. Well, half a fingers. The pinky and the one next to it. Hold on a second. Let me move on to the next scene. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like, what is it that you didn't like about this game? What drove you crazy that you didn't like? Hold on. Let me exit. I want to get to the end of the story. I want to exit this. What's up, Derek? 1990. Because there's something I want to show you. I'm going to go to the story. I'm going to exit. This is the encounters. Encounters basically is where you can go to any chapter. Jackson, Seattle, day 1, day 2, day 3. Santa Barbara. You can go to any of these chapters and play the encounter. You can fight the fights, or you can just skip to the story, which I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the story, straight to the story. How you doing, Derek? Good morning. Santa Barbara. There's the farm. Epilogue. And let's start. So there's something here I want to show you as to why I believe that she let go of Joe. And what do I mean by Ellie letting go of Joe? That means that she's done. That she's done thinking about him. She's done having him in her mind, because she has to let go of Joel. She cannot move on if Joel, it's constantly in her mind. The only way she can get rid of him, not totally get rid of him, but move forward. She needs to get rid of any objects, whether it's the watch, the guitar, whatever it is. She needs to get rid of any memories that she has of Joel in order for her to keep her sanity, in order for her to move forward. And I think, honestly, this is where the part 3 of this game could become very, very interesting. That's glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. So there she is, back to the farm. Obviously, no one's at the farm. They all abandoned her. And I don't think she's gonna stay here at Wyoming. I think Ellie's leaving. She's gonna go on her own. Yes, she forgave Joel, but I think what was driving her crazy was the fact that she never had a chance to tell Joel how much she loves him, like how much she cares about him, you know. And that's the one thing that was driving her crazy, is that she didn't get a chance to tell him, hey, I care about you, and I didn't mean what I said. You should have let me die. I'm not ungrateful, you know. And deep down, I know that Joel knows that, you know. I know he knows that. But Ellie doesn't know that. And I think that's why we have this flashback. You know what? Since we're here, can we go through a kitchen? I'm just curious if we can go to the kitchen. I don't know if the kitchen door is going to be open. I wonder. No, it's not. It's not going to be open. And why would it be? Because it's part of the story. Remember, this game, it's not about you making a choice. It's about the destiny is written, and you just experiencing this destiny. And here's what's so significant. It's the guitar. Obviously, you know, Dina's gone with the JJ. She's not here. But here's what's so significant is the guitar. This guitar, it's like there's two things. Guitar and a watch. That wristwatch. They're two sentimental objects that reference Joel to her. And if she keeps dragging this guitar with her, if she keeps carrying that watch, that wristwatch, and that wristwatch was given to Joel by Sarah. I don't know if you guys remember, for his birthday, in the beginning of the first Last of Us, that broken watch, well, it was broken during the whole pandemic when it happened, but that watch was given to Joel by Sarah, and that watch always kept him a reminder, even when he was working as a smuggler with Tess in Boston. Remember, he moved out of San Antonio, Texas. He moved to Boston, and that's where Marlene introduced Ellie to Tess and Joel to transport her and looked after her. Where were they going to transport her? Of course, Salt Lake City, where Isaac is with fireflies. Okay, because Marlene knew in advance that she is special, that she is immune. So I'm just kind of giving you guys the flashbacks. I don't know if you guys remember all of that. So that's the significance of that watch. So now this guitar, it's also a significant memory of Joel. And the reason she doesn't want to bring this guitar with her, she doesn't want to bring the watch, she left the watch at his house in a memorial. Joel had a house, now it's a memorial, you can go in there and pay your respect. But she cannot play a guitar because of her fingers. But at the same time, she doesn't want to be reminded of Joel with this guitar. She wants to let go of him. And obviously it's something you have to go through. I think it was necessary. I think it was necessary because, in my opinion, that was the only way that this story would work. If Joel didn't die, if everything was hunky-dory, if they were just doing pretty much the same thing as they did in the first game, then sure, it would satisfy a fanboys of the first game, because that's what fanboys want. Fanboys are like a crybabies. They just want what they want. They don't care if it sucks. They just want what they want, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of fanboys. So it would be just more of the same, grinding it, including maybe some new characters, but it would be more of a grinder. You'd be just grinding the story. I mean, kind of like Walking Dead, you know. How many seasons you're gonna grind that story till your main character officially dies, right? I mean, how long are you gonna milk it? So this was necessary. This was something. I didn't enjoy the scene. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I had a great time when Abby came in and she shot him with a 12-gauge shotgun in his kneecap, and then they let him bleed and they tortured him by beating the hell out of his skull, splattered brains all over the place. Of course I didn't enjoy that. And that piece of shit, what's his name? Manny goes in and spits on his skull. Of course I didn't enjoy it. But just like I didn't enjoy watching Alex Murphy in a RoboCop getting massacred, I didn't enjoy it. But it was something that was necessary. Otherwise you wouldn't have any sympathy for Alex Murphy as a RoboCop if you didn't go through that brutal scene. He needed to be made a martyr. But I think he was made a martyr to give out a better message. And I think the message here is he loves Ellie like he did Sarah. And he couldn't live, even though he knew that by sacrificing her, that the world would have been a better place. But Joe felt like, why should I do that? The humans already fuck things up. Humans never change. she would die in vain. Humans will always find a way to fuck the world up. Humans will always find a way to fuck things up. Joel felt, I don't owe this world, I don't owe any human being on this planet anything. I don't owe anybody a fucking thing. And if I have to do it all over again, like he said, if the God gave me a second chance, I do it all over again. I don't care. He felt, I don't owe this world anything. The world owes me. My daughter died from a human hand. So he couldn't fucking bear to see another person like Ellie get killed for the greater good. He couldn't do that because he truly loved her. He cared about her, and all he wanted to see was Ellie be happy. He didn't care. You'll see in this coming scene. You'll see it in this coming scene coming up. He didn't care that Ellie liked girls or that she was lesbian. It didn't bother him. He says, whatever makes you happy. If Dina seems like a very good girl and you're very happy to have her, you know. So he didn't care. Whatever makes Ellie happy, he's happy. Whatever that is. If she wants to be an astronaut, if she wants to fly out into space, he doesn't care. Whatever makes Ellie happy, Joel was happy. He was only living for her. That's the important part people need to understand here. His reasoning for moving on is because of Ellie. Yes, when his daughter Sarah died, he got into smuggling with Tess. But he was a different Joe, younger Joe. Now he's much wiser Joe. And he realized what's important to him. Otherwise, what's the point of living? What's the point of moving on if you got no reason to move on? What's the point of waking up every morning if you got no reason to wake up to something to look forward to? What is the point? To him, she was that point. And he never would ask Ellie to go on some revenge campaign to avenge his name. And I think that's the important part to also remember. Just like Abby's father, we learned a little bit about Abby's father, and this is why you need to understand and need to play through Abby to understand her perspective as well. You find out that her father was a good man. He was a doctor. He truly wanted to find a cure. He wanted to help people. And he was hesitant as well. He had a little conversation with Marlene. Marlene said to him, what if it was your daughter? What would you do if it was your daughter? Would you put her on that surgeon table? Would you sacrifice her for the greater good? You know? And you also see Abby's father, doctor, helping animals, rescuing that zebra. It was like a zebra moment. You find out that he's not a bad man, okay? And even Abby's father would not want Abby to go on some kind of a ridiculous revenge campaign to seek vengeance because of him, because of her father, in his name. Remember, he talked about, I see how Owen, remember that scene when she was younger and Abby's father said to younger version of Abby, he says, I seen how Owens looks at you. He really likes you. So her father already knew that he cares about you. You two love each other. And he wants her to be happy. So he would not want her to go. See, they're both similar. both Abby, what I'm trying to say is this, I hope you guys are following me. Both Abby and Ellie are very much similar. They change the heart, they change their mind, but they're also blinded by rage, anger, confusion, and vengeance. What is the one thing we realized? Here's another significant scene. Just stay with me. All of this will make sense when you play through this game. When Ellie goes to Aquamarine, what was it? Aquamarine or Aquamarine, something like that. It was a marine, Aquamarine, where the aquarium marine, aquarium marine. When Ellie goes there to kill Owen and Mel, the pregnant lady, she was puking. Ellie was puking. She felt sick. What happened when Abby came back with Lev and she found Mel and Owen dead at the aquarium? Abby was puking as well. They're both getting the equal treatment because they're both on the wrong path. That's the message here. And this is why it's necessary for you. Please stay with me. This will make sense when you play the game. This is why it's important to play as Abby and Ellie to understand that they're both on the wrong path of destruction, of losing everything. Forget Tommy. Tommy's an asshole. Just forget about him, okay? I know he's a Joel's brother, but he really is an asshole, okay? Pushing Ellie to go on this stupid revenge crap for his selfish reasons. So, they both are equally identical. And I think this is what Neil was trying to inject into this. And how even more, imagine the shocking part 3. I don't have any scoop. I'm not Neil's friend. I don't work for Naughty Dog. But imagine how shocking it would be. It would be if we find out on part 3 that Abby survives and she's immune as well, even though she got bitten by the clickers. Remember, she was captured and she was bitten by clickers. Even though she was bitten by clickers, somehow she survives as well and she's immune. So they would be pretty much identical, both of them, on this path of destruction. Now, I don't know if the part 3 is going to happen, but let's go through this scene and then we'll talk about it at the very end. Oh, she does lose everything. She does. She lost her father. She lost Owen. She lost Mel. And the Fireflies have turned against her because she was helping the wolf. Now, sure, Abby has Lev. She has Lev, that boy. Ellie has Dina and JJ. You know, she can still find where Dina is and where JJ is. That kid, the baby, Jesse's baby, that is. So they're both kind of on same wavelength equally. But anyway, let's move on and we'll talk about the ending, and I'll explain to you why significance of showing guitar at the end and leaving guitar next to the open window as Ellie is leaving. That means she's letting go. She's not looking back. She's letting go of everything. By the way, Abby was bitten. She was captured. Remember, they were capturing people to turn them into zombies. They were testing those sick bastards in Santa Barbara. They were capturing fresh meat, good meat. That's what they call it, meaning fresh, good humans, healthy humans. They were capturing healthy humans and they were feeding them little by little, getting little bites. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to that or not. Maybe you need to replay it again, look into that. So you have to pay attention to that. Why do you think that Abby's losing all that weight? Because she was fed, tested by these zombies. But that's something that probably in the part 3 you'll probably find out. That's the secret. This is the mind of Neil Druckmann, and he doesn't want you to know. He kept that part hidden there. But Ellie is immune, and it could possibly be that Abby is also immune. You gotta remember, her father was a doctor. Fireflies knew about Ellie. And what happened to Ellie's mother? What did Fireflies do with Ellie's mother in Boston? See, Neil Druckmann, the way he works, he doesn't tell you everything. There's some things he keeps secret because he likes to have options for the part 3, so he can push the part 3 to a certain cliffhanger.
Stuff under control. And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols. Kiss, it doesn't mean anything. She just... No, I should...
You do like her.
Hold on a second. Well, that's what you think. You think she's starved. You think you're starved. But why would they put her on that big wooden stake? Why would they tie her up to that big wooden stake? What do you think that's all about? But you see, that's the part what I assume Neil Druckmann doesn't want you to know. He wants to keep that secret. So when he does the part 3, he's got some leverage to go with the part number 3. That's my opinion. That's what I think.
die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
Hey, J-Dog, listen. You need to understand a couple of fucking things, dude, before I block you. There's a difference between what I am assuming and then what happened. I know what happened, but dude, you gotta stop trolling. So next time, pay attention to what I'm saying, idiot. I'm saying there's a possibility something happened in between that we don't know about. That's me assuming. I know the fucking facts, what was being said there. I'm just saying there's a possibility that Neil Druckmann is keeping that secret from us for the part 3. But you're not listening. You're just dropping your fucking stupid nonsense, dude. Don't call me bra, dude. Don't bring that fucking street fucking slang here on that fucking bullshit bra shit. Don't start with me on that shit, man. Go call your mama bra. Don't call me bra, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not your bra. Call me sir. That's what you need to fucking call me. Moving on. Don't come here with your fucking teenager streets fucking slang. You're too stupid to even understand what I'm trying to say. I'm giving options here to what could be. But you don't see above that. You just see what you fucking think you see. I'm looking beyond that. I'm looking where the story could go, potentially. And change your name. J-Doggo, whatever. Get out of here, dude. This is for people who have more intelligence to see where the story might go. This is not about being stupid idiot like you. I know what happens. I know what the guy says in the cage, that she tried to escape and they took her to the boats. But we don't know what caused that and what they did while she was escaping. We don't fucking know. So that's the gap that I'm looking at, where potentially they might have done to her and what they might have done to that boy. But see, your brain cannot see that. Your brain is too peanut small to understand what I'm trying to say. So don't come with me with a bruh. Call me sir. Don't call me bruh. Not your bruh. Don't bring their street slang with me.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance to handle it, I would do it all over again.
You see, he just told her that he doesn't care because he did it out of love. He doesn't care. He would do it all over again because he cared about her. He feels he doesn't owe this world fucking nothing. And it's true. I don't owe this fucking world anything. Sure as hell Joel doesn't owe this fucking world and all these humans who created this chaos of pandemic. He doesn't owe them a goddamn thing. So he was willing to do, if he could get a second chance, he was willing to do it all over again because he cared about Ellie. But he would not want Ellie to go on some revenge rampage. Especially for his name. He would not want that to happen.
I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. I would like to try.
Hey, what's up, Steve? All right, Eurojule, you gotta go too, man. Stop pretending, dude. Get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. What's up, Steve? I got some idiots here. Got a bunch of stupid teenagers, ghetto motherfuckers with the fucking pants down who like to get fucked in the ass. Idiots. Fuck this shit. I'll put this in the member chat. Hey, listen, guys, if you don't want to have a good conversation, you're going to be treated like fucking ghetto motherfuckers. If you're going to act like a ghetto, you're going to be treated like a fucking ghetto in my world. If you want to grow some brain, grow some fucking brains. If you don't have a brains, don't come to this conversation. This conversation is open-minded. And if you don't have a brain, then get the fuck out of here. I don't have time for your bullshit. Nobody gives a shit about you. I sure as hell don't give a fuck about you. Now, let me give you significance here of this guitar. Now, why did she leave this guitar? She left this guitar because she's finally left. And that's why the guitar is left there. And you'll see when the camera zooms in, that means she's done with Joel. She's moving on, and that's that. She finally let it go. And she feels now through this flashback that Joel is forgiving her. You see? And you're going to see that guitar. And then you see Ellie walking back. That means she's done with him. She forgives him. I mean, he forgives her. And then she's done with Joel. She's letting go of Joel. She's moving on. You see, you have to pay attention to these little tiny things. And I think today's generation of these fucking idiots don't fucking get nothing. That's why they're walking around getting their ass fucking shot, getting their fucking ass fucking beaten, because they're stupid motherfuckers having their pants pulled fucking down. Put your fucking pants up. It's fucking 2020. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. My fucking problem, you live in a fucking dump. Get some education. I just want to let that be known for all you fucking motherfuckers out there. Get some fucking education. It's your fucking fault, not my fucking fault. You live in a fucking dump. And you're dealing dope. Not my fucking fault. Your fucking fault. But why forget Joel? Well, that's good. Good question. Because of Joel, she lost Dina. She lost JJ. And she was very happy with Dina and JJ. So she couldn't bear living with Dina and JJ, having the flashbacks, PTSD, which is the post-stress disorder, post-stress traumatic disorder, PTSD. Anyway, post-traumatic stress disorder. So she didn't want to have that flashbacks. Because if she thinks about Joel, she's always going to be driven by revenge. And she doesn't want to feel that way anymore. She wants to move on. But anyway, what do you guys think? Put your thoughts on it. I just think that this game is misunderstood. And it's misunderstood because the reason I mentioned this generation, because this generation is really fucking stupid. They don't get anything. They don't understand anything. They like to fucking burn down fucking stores. The same fucking stores. They gotta go to fucking work. They wanna ban certain movies that they fucking watch gazillions of fucking times. They want to tear down the fucking statues, and they have no fucking clue about those statues. They have no fucking clue about the history. They're uneducated. They're shit for brains, and I have no fucking feelings for you. I have zero fucks about you guys, because you're fucking stupid. This millennials generation is the worst fucking generation in history that I have ever seen. Period. In my 41 fucking years. And for this game, they don't get it. They don't understand this game. Because they want to have what they want. Well, that's not how it works. That's not how art works. That's not how writer writes a book. Because he wants to write a book for you. To make you feel better. No. He is sharing his fucking story. He is sharing his art. You are participating, reading his art or watching his art. So everybody's shitting on Neil Druckmann because he didn't create a game that would fit your narrative, that would fit your desire. Neil Druckmann doesn't care about your desire. He's sharing his art. Same thing with the first game. He was sharing his art through the story. So same thing with this one. Yes, so that's why this guitar is here. That's the significance of this guitar. You see that butterfly? You see that guitar? That's Joel's guitar. What did you see in the beginning of the game? You saw the guitar. Why? Because the guitar, it's a symbol of Joel. And what are you seeing right now at the end of the game? You are seeing the guitar left on a farm while Ellie is leaving. And you'll see her leaving. Hold on. Let me exit this. You'll see her leaving. There she is down there. So she's leaving and guitar stays there. There she is. Right there. So that means she's done. And Joel forgives her. He forgives her. He does. Do you know why he forgives her? He forgives her because she didn't kill Abby. Why do you think? While she was choking, drowning, as a matter of fact, drowning and choking Abby, while she was drowning Abby, the flashback of Joel shows up, him playing a guitar. What does that mean? That flashback of Joel playing a guitar, it's a metaphor for Ellie to give up. Let it go. Let it go. Revenge doesn't work. Let it go. And she let it go. Yes, she lost 2 fingers, but she had to let it go. And significance of her losing the fingers also means that you need to let go of me too. Let her go and let go of me too. Meaning, don't play a guitar for me. Let go of me. Move. You're an adult now. You're not a little girl. You're an adult. You have plenty of experience. Move on with your life. And let go of me. And I think that's the thing that I'm surprised people are not seeing that. I'm even surprised that big YouTubers like Alana Pierce is not seeing that. She's so focused on he's dead, he's dead. Okay, he's dead, we get it. Nobody likes the fact that he's dead, but get over that fact. He's dead. Okay? I can't bring my father back. My father's dead. I didn't want him to die, but he died. He died anyway. Your loved ones, I'm sure somebody has a loved one who had died, but you didn't want him to die, but he still died. That's life. That's life. That's life. Life, it's not catered to what you want. Life, it's not catered to give your desire to what you want things to be, the way you want it to be. Life, it's a journey. And I think that's what Joel is telling her. Live your life. Let go of me. I saved you, and I would have saved you twice. I would have saved you every single time. No matter how many times God would give me a chance, I would still go to save you. Regardless of how many times the Almighty God would give me a chance, I would still save you, because I want you to live. I'm willing to die for you so that you can live. So that's that closure. That's the significance of that scene. And then flashbacks of Joel while she's drowning Abby. And I'm surprised. I'm really shocked that many people didn't see that. That many people didn't realize that. And this really shows me that people are so blinded. The gamers, well, so-called gamers. I don't know. Do we have real gamers? I don't think we have real gamers. I think what we have is generations of bandwagons holding different flags. This game, it's not catered for me. I don't care. Why do I have to play as Abby? Why the game is so long? You know what, man? Then don't play the game. Don't play the fucking game. Troy Baker is right. You know what? Fuck it. Don't play it. Just don't play it, dude. Because I don't get you. I don't understand you either. If your brain doesn't have wisdom to step back and understand this game, then maybe you shouldn't be playing it. Why don't you stick to Modern Warfare? Why don't you stick to Mortal Kombat and all the brainless Fortnite games? Why don't you stick to that? And let people who are intelligent, more intelligent than you, much smarter than you, let them enjoy this game and let them connect the dots. Because I'm sick and tired of these YouTubers. Every day. This is the reason why this game sucks. This is the reason why this game this. Yet the game it's selling, it's the highest selling game. Period. On PlayStation. 4 million copies in just over the weekend. Over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 million copies. 4 million fucking copies. The game, it's already successful. Sony made enough money, they can already go ahead and do a part 3 if they want to. But anyway, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Do you think, you full of shit, Mr. 4K? You don't know what you're talking about? You're trying to shill for this game. You're probably friend with Neil and Troy, and you're trying to shill this fucking game. You're trying to shove this game to everybody's throat. No. It's not true, but if that's what you want to think, then think that. I don't care. Oh yes, they will make a number. I think they will. There has to be a part 3. There has to be, or maybe there won't be. or maybe there won't be. But if there is a part 3, if there is a part 3, it has to be some sort of a closure with Ellie, because Ellie cannot continue on knowing what she knows. The biggest question is this. Here's the biggest question that I have, that I would like to pick on Neil Druckmann's brain. Is Ellie going to turn herself in? Is she going to sacrifice herself so that JJ, Dina's son, well, it's also Ellie's son as well, because she like raised him, she was raising him. Is Ellie gonna sacrifice herself in a part 3 so that JJ doesn't have to live in a world of zombies, pandemic, lawlessness, murders, killings? Is she gonna sacrifice herself for the greater good so that JJ could have a better life than what she had? Is she gonna sacrifice herself? That's the one question. Second question, Abby. Is Abby gonna survive? And if Abby did survive, how did she survive? If, in my theory, she was bitten by a clicker, if they were testing her when she was trying to escape, when she went to the docks, when she went to the boats. This is my theory. Now, I don't know this for a fact. Maybe it didn't happen, but there's a good possibility she could be immune as well. So there's so much room in the part 3. There's so much room in the part 3. How they will save the world? Well, if you are immune, then you cannot turn. Then zombies cannot turn you in as one of them. So all you have to do is just genocide the rest of the zombies. That's easy. Just everybody gets together and everybody just starts killing the rest of the zombies. Eliminate whatever's left and no one else will get turned, because now you have immunity. You can breed spores, you can get bitten, nothing's going to happen to you. So that's pretty much the idea. It would take plenty of time. It wouldn't happen overnight, but eventually 10 years, 20 years, when a JJ grows up, he won't have to deal with the mess and the chaos that they're already in. Well, they would have to do that. They would have to kill every single zombie, and then but here's another problem. All these different factions, different divisions. You got Fireflies, you got Scars. Who's gonna rule who? Who's gonna create the new future? Are you gonna bring another chaos on top of the chaos? Or are you really gonna see? That's the question. This is the problem that Joel has with humanity. It's not his fault that this shit happens. It's a human's fault. Humans made this fucking bullshit outbreak. They created this outbreak. They spread this outbreak. So Joel feels, I don't owe human beings a fucking thing. I don't owe anybody anything. And I'm not going to let this poor girl, Ellie, who saved my life, die for this bullshit greater cause. Maybe humans don't deserve this because they create, from one chaos, they create another chaos. Because deep down, Joel knows that humans are incapable of keeping shit together. This is my theory, my opinion, you know. Well, this is what Neil says. Neil says that when he created this game, he created it to be, in his mind, the last game. When he created this, he said, I'm creating this game to be the last, as if it's the last game. Would I love the prequel? Maybe as a DLC. What I would love here's what I want, honestly. I want to see what happened in that 4-year gap once they arrived at Wyoming. That's a long time. 4 years is a long time. We can learn more about Joel. We can learn about what kind of Joel this is now. Is this the same Joel, or is this a different type of a Joel? We can learn more about him, why people worshipped him. I don't mean worshipped him, but why people looked up to him. Everybody in that town looked up to Joel, like he was like a sheriff, like a mayor. They looked up to him as if he was like some kind of a mayor of that town. Did you see his? Well, hold on. Maybe we can. Maybe I can show it to you. Hold on. Let me go to the chapters. I wanna get to the chapter here. Where was the Seattle Day 2? Seattle Day 3. Seattle Day. Oh, Jackson. Let's just go to Jackson. Walking up. The Overlook. Patrol. Hold on. Oh, I cannot watch this scene. Packing up. Yeah, this scene right here, or is it? Yeah, this one right here. Packing up. So let's go back to this scene, and I want to show you the Joel's house, not the farm where Dina and Ellie, but I want to show you the Joel's house. And when you see his house, you'll see so many flowers, people leaving cards, how much we miss you, how much we love you, Joel. It's like he earned the trust of the people living in that town. They felt safe with him because he was clearing out the clickers and zombies. He was keeping that town safe and clean. Till, of course, Abby shows up with her wolves. Everything changes. So he settled down. He was raising Ellie. As he was raising Ellie for 4 years, I would like to know, how did that whole thing develop? And I think there's plenty of room in the part 3 to show us what happened in those 4 years. And you know what? Who was it? Fitness, Al Ray Fitness. Absolutely. There's also room for younger version of Joel, so we can learn more about him, and Tommy and Sarah. Also, the Boston and Tess, how he got involved with smuggling, how he got involved with Tess, because obviously that was like a girlfriend slash girlfriend of his, right? So there's plenty of room here to go. I hope Neil Druckmann is thinking about this, dude. I felt like dropping him an email. Seriously, I felt like, I swear to God, I'm gonna send him a direct message. I was like, dude, there's plenty of room here for you to improve on the part 3. There's so much we can learn about Joe, his life with Sarah, Tommy, and then going back to him being a smuggler in Boston before he met Ellie, way before he met Ellie. Get back there, how he met Tess, and then get back to Wyoming and what happened in those 4 years. 4 years, it's a long time. It's a long time. Plenty of gaps there to be put in the part 3. And then at the end, we can get back to the present time and we can learn about the whereabouts about Abby, what happened to Abby, what happened to Lev, what happened to Ellie, what happened to Dina and JJ. Did JJ grow up? Is JJ going to recognize Ellie? Dude, part 3 needs to happen, Neil. Listen to me, Neil. If you're watching this, I don't know, maybe he is secretly. Part 3 needs to happen. Badly. Like, badly, part 3 needs to happen. And I think part 3 would make up for what part 2 couldn't make up. For you to play as Joe. Plenty of Joe. Like, if you can't get enough of Joel, well, fuck. Plenty of Joel for you to have in a part 3. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think this will never work? Neil will say, fuck it, nah, I don't want to do that. Or do you think that maybe it will work? So what do you guys think? But here, let me show you the house. I want to show you this part right here. Packing up. This is after Joel gets killed. And then Tommy comes in and, you know, they're mourning and all that. I want to show you his house, his memorial, and just how much people cared about Joel. It's important to pay attention, guys, to these little tiny things. And the reason I get so angry when I see idiots come to my chat room typing bunch of nonsense without realizing these small little tiny details. I spent 12 days playing this game because I want to give this game a fair shake. I want to give this game a proper treatment. I could have speed run through this game. Easily I could have speed run, but I purposely didn't want to speed run because I want to pay an homage. I want to pay a tribute to this game the way it was meant to be. And I paid attention to all of these little tiny details. And I'm going to show it to you right now here on this scene. Oh, this is easily Game of the Year, dude. This is a masterpiece in its own right. And I think part 3 bizarrely could even top this one. Part 3 could even top this one, dude. If they stick to what I just mentioned earlier. What's up, Brendan? How you doing, brother? So now you're going to understand here on this part when Tommy comes in and gives her the belonging of Joe, the watch, broken watch, which Sarah gave him that watch. Hold on. We're also going to learn on the house that Joel has. The house, it's a memorial, and so many people paid a tribute to him. That shows you how much people trusted Joel. Like a mayor. They look at him like a mayor, like a president, almost like a figure, like a president figure or something, like a messiah, almost like a messiah. But anyway, here I'll point that out once we get there. I'll point that out once we get there. He was a great leader, apparently. Hey, I miss Joel more than you, brother. Believe me. Like Cherry, nobody misses Joel more than me. I even have his avatar. Look, there's his avatar right there. There goes Tommy.
Can I sit down, please?
He's gonna give her the watch, the wristwatch, and some other belongings. No, LBJ. This avatar, you have to buy a deluxe edition. I pre-ordered deluxe edition long time ago, so I was given all the stuff included.
Maria wants to make sure you're eating.
She can't stop us.
You'd be surprised, Steven. You move on. You move on, dude. You'd be surprised.
You're this smart. We'd be leaving Jackson bone.
Do they just get to get away with this?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, but that's what's happening.
What if we get hit by hunters again?
Is this you talking or is this her?
It's a valid point.
If it were you or me, Joel would be halfway to Seattle already.
No, we wouldn't.
He absolutely fucking would be.
Well, we don't even know for certain that they're from Seattle.
Washington Liberation Front. That's what you said was on those patches.
What if they stole those jackets?
That's...
What the WLF move?
What are you doing?
You see,
I'm leaving tomorrow.
you see how she is blinded. And you can see that early on in the game, how she's blinded by revenge. Like she's acting on her emotions. And Tommy is right. Because Tommy knows his brother obviously better than than Ellie. He said he wouldn't have done this without a proper research. You know, to find out more about who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. But look, I'm not saying that what she's doing it's not understandable. I understand emotions. I'm a human being. I'm not some robot. She's a human being. She's not a robot. What I'm saying is this. When you are acting on emotions, you're not detached from yourself. You're stuck with that one mindset. And that one mindset is, I just want to kill. I want to get my vengeance. I want to make a fucking killing. I don't give a shit who's in front of me, what I gotta do. Vengeance, it's my number one fucking thing right now. And you blinded by that. She's blinded by that. Understandably so. But see, this is the trick. This is why it's so hard and difficult to forgive. Because Joel would have never, ever want Ellie to kill anybody, anyone, in his name. In his name. Never, ever would he want Ellie to kill anyone in his name. Okay? Joel did what he had to do to save her. That's a different story. Out of love. Okay? But he would have never let Ellie go on some kind of ridiculous crusades of vengeance because of his name, in his name, to do all this shit in his name. Never. No matter how brutally he was killed. No matter how brutally he was killed. But anyway, let me show you the house. Let's go through this scene, and then I'm going to show you the house of Joel. I want to show you some interesting stuff there on the memorial.
And if you want to come with me, great.
You have no idea what you're walking into. You don't know how large that group is, how armed.
I don't care. You can't talk me out of this.
You see, we also have to be, guys, we have to pay attention here. You see how easy it is to, this is why you got to play this game multiple times. You see, I was too quick to judge Tommy. You know how it says Tommy's a piece of shit. But you see, I totally missed this part right here. Tommy did try to stop her from going on this revenge crusade. Because Tommy knows his brother, Joel. Tommy knows that Joel would have fucking never want Ellie to get involved in any kind of killing or any kind of revenge. See, he told her multiple times, you don't want to get involved in this. You don't want to do this. Let it go. They'll let you live. They let you live, and that's good enough that they let you live. Let it go. Live your life here. Let's honor Joel. Let's honor him. Let's bury him. And they did bury him next to his house and all that. But you see, Tommy's not a piece of shit, and he's right. You said you want to avenge him. You don't care at any cost. And now all of a sudden, you don't want to do it. Remember when he came back to the house, to the farm where Dina and Ellie were living with JJ. He told her, hey, I know she's in Santa Barbara, blah, 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 looking for this boat with that little boy, Lev. So Tommy's not a piece of shit. He did told her, hey, don't do this. I might have to replay this game again, dude. There's so many things I'm missing. Dude, you have to replay it multiple times because there's stuff, dude, you have to pay attention. This is like a book. You know, you gotta pay attention, man, to what's being said. And I know I missed some parts. I'm pretty fucking sure some dialogue I missed. And now this dialogue, I totally forgot about this dialogue that they had. So Tommy's not a piece of shit. Tommy knew his brother really well, Joe, because he knows, hey, I don't want Ellie going on some fucking crusade avenging me. I just want Ellie to be happy, look after her, protect her, Tommy, okay, and let her be happy. Anyway, let's continue on.
Give me a day. Talk to Marie. Okay? There's gotta be some folks you can spare.
She won't budge.
Figure something out. One day. Please.
So now I'm going to show you the house and why people cherished him so much. So this is a memorial. This is his place where he's buried. So Tommy's not a bad guy. He's not a piece of shit. So I was wrong about Tommy. He's not a piece of shit. It's just that he wants to be smart about it, you know. And he didn't want Ellie to get involved. You see, in the beginning, he says, hey, I don't want you to get involved. Just let it go. But he says, I don't care. I don't care. I need to do this. I need to know where they are. Talk to Maria. Gather some people. I don't care. So you see, Ellie is doing this to herself. Both Abby and Ellie are self-destructing themselves. They're both on a path of destruction. Path of destruction. Because of this urge of vengeance. But anyway, let's move on. Ghost of Tsushima definitely will be something I'm looking forward to. Now you can go to his grave. Where's it? Right here. There it is. Joel Miller. Ghost of Tsushima is more like it's an open world game, but it's a very rich open world game. It does have a story. It's the island of Tsushima that was invaded by this other groups of samurais. It has a pretty good story as well, but it's more of like an open world, like The Witcher meets look, I know some people want to compare this game to Red Dead Redemption. Guys, don't do that. Please, do yourself a favor. Don't set yourself in that trap. It's open world, but it's not Rockstar open world. Again, let me repeat this one more time. It's open world, but it's not Rockstar Red Dead Redemption open world type of a game. Think of it like The Witcher. Like The Witcher and Zelda, like, put together, you know. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to play it, you know. Fucking stoked about it. Alright, let's go to Joel's house. I want to show you.
Couldn't get to the horses. Looks like Tommy took them. Now Maria's got the stables locked down. Fucking Tommy. We'll figure something else out on the way. Car or a horse or something. Okay. This makes getting to Seattle a lot harder.
So when we go to his house, I want to show you
You could still change your mind.
how much people admired him.
I know. Just don't want you to feel like you have to. Belle. There you go. Ike. End of story. You need to get
Alright, let's go to his house.
I hate it biting these kids. I figured you'd want to slip out that way.
There's his house right there. And when you look at this house, when you look at this memorial here, how many people Look at that rabbit. How many people left flowers in front of his house? And look at these notes and envelopes. That shows you how much they cherish this Joe in this town. He was like a mayor to them. Almost like a mayor. Like a sheriff of the town. Almost. Look at these notes. And it keeps more and more. There's more on this side as well. So there's definitely plenty of room to explore Joel. And what he has been through. And what he has done here in this town. I mean, that's 4 years. 4 years for us to explore in the part 3 about Joel. If they ever do it. If they ever do it. I don't know if they're going to do it, but if they ever do it. Nobody brings you this many flowers and notes if they don't cherish you, man. Oh, there's that chair. Hold on. Oh, fuck, I forgot.
What do you mean? Oh, I can go get it. Hold on to it. Okay.
Remember? Hold on. I gotta show you something here, guys.
Come on. I'll hang out then.
Hold on.
Thanks.
Remember, he used to play his guitar over here on the porch, and that's when they had the last conversation. It was right here at this house. Let's see what kind of movies did Joel watch. Hold on. Ooh, he likes Titanic. What is that? Titanic? No, what is it? No, what the hell was that? It looks like an Exorcist. Is it Jurassic Park? No. Tesla, dude. He loved Tesla. He had a movie about Tesla. No, I cannot get down. It won't let me do it. But I could use a photo. Hold on. I could use a photo mode. I don't know if the photo mode's going to let me zoom in. Blade Runner. Let's see what it's got. He looks like he has a Vizio. There's Joel right there. That's a younger version of Joel. Hold on. See what else he was reading. That's nice. He really had a lot of respect for Native Americans. I love that, man. That he had an utmost respect for Native Americans. That's great, man. Yeah, hold on a second. So, this is a nice place that he's got, man. It's a nice house, man. Oh, he loves drinking wine. Nice. Whiskey, Captain Morgan. Hey, what is this? There's Maria. There's Joel. Ah, there's Jesse. You see? Jesse, he really liked Ellie. I think Jesse had a crush on Ellie. You see? You learned a little bit about certain things. See that photo? Jesse, let me show you. Hold on. Can I take a photo? I mean, can I use a... Wait a minute. I don't know if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in a little bit closer? I don't know if you guys can see it or not. See, there's Jesse there. Jesse is there next to Ellie. And remember how Joel always talks about how much Jesse likes you. Like, you know, the Asian kid, Asian guy that had a kid with Dina. That was Dina was his girlfriend, but Jesse had a crush on Ellie, I think, and Joel was right about that. And you can see it here on this photo. Joel is like a lone wolf. I love it. He's like a lone wolf eating by himself. Maria, Tommy, there they are. Pretty cool. Let's see what else he was drinking. Irish whiskey. All right. So he was Irish. Joel is Irish, man. He is Irish, man. He lived in Texas, but he definitely is Irish. Irish Texan. There you go. Let's see. Hold on. I want to make sure I check everything. He was also a fisherman. He liked to fish a lot. He was the outdoorsman. He loved being outdoors, man. That's his life. Definitely a nice house, man. For sure. For sure. Oh wait. We've been there. We've been there. Love the paintings. This is a beautiful house, man. Beautiful house. Joel, it looked better than his original house that he had back in when he lived with Sarah. Hold on. That's Tommy and hold on a second. That's Tommy and Joel right there. No, this is Wyoming. He in the first game he was in Austin, Texas. Both him and Tommy and Sarah lived in Austin, Texas, and he moved to Boston as a smuggler, and then of course introduced to Ellie through Marlene, I'm sorry, and then remember they went to Salt Lake City. They traveled all the way to Salt Lake City, and from Salt Lake City, Utah, he escaped with Ellie from St. Mary Hospital all the way to Wyoming, Jackson. Oh, look how many guitars he had made, dude. Look at this. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that he loved guitars, obviously. He made plenty of guitars. That was his hobby, making guitars. But you can see clearly here, he's already making another one. Building it here. There's a radio. These are all the materials he used to build the guitars. Pretty cool, man. You see those little tiny details, man. This is why you shouldn't rush through the game. You know, I don't understand why people rush through the game. This game requires you to spend. This is why I spent. The reason I'm making this live stream is because I want to explain to people why I spent 12 days to truly understand this game and where it's going. And you're not going to understand this game if you're closed-minded and you just have that the typical thinking, this game's a trash, this game's a trash. No. You got to detach from that mentality of thinking this game's a trash and be open-minded and accept this game for what it is. Accept this story for what it is. Not only did he make guitars, but he made figurines. Look, he was a craftsman. Look at these figurines that he antiques that he had created, man. He was a very talented guy, man. Very smart, intellectual, talented, good-looking, obviously. So this shows you like how rich this character really is, man. When I say rich, I mean in terms of, not in terms of money, but in terms of like spirit. And many people wouldn't pay attention to this. They would just kind of run through this game, rush through it, grab what they need to grab, as if they're like in some kind of a hurry. And that's what I don't understand about today's generations. You know, so fixated on the negative of, oh, he died. Instead of focusing on this story and where the story is going, to have better understanding. That's his jackets, all the jackets that he was wearing. No, those are Ellie's. Oh, he saved, oh my goodness, he saved some of the Ellie stuff too. Space. Idiot's Guides to Space. So he loved reading about the space. That's how he knows so much about, you know, Apollo missions. And that's why he recorded that tape. Remember the mixtape that he created for Ellie in a flashback when they went to Wyoming Zoo? Remember Wyoming Zoo, when they went to Wyoming Zoo? That's why he created that mixtape. So that way he can give it to Ellie. And he was fascinated by space, as you can see. You see, everything makes sense in this game if you pay attention to it. Let's see if there's a Pearl Jam. I'm surprised that they didn't put a Pearl Jam, even though they have Future Days song featured in there. I'm surprised they don't have a Pearl Jam. This is all country and country's blues, like a country's blues, stuff like that. Let's see what else he was reading. Moby Dick, Game and Animals. Why? What is that? whitening. Oh, White Fang. That's wolves. More about like hunting. He was reading about hunting animals. And let's see what else we got here. And of course, the watch. That's the watch that was given to him by Sarah in the beginning of the game. And those are the jeans that he was wearing. Remember those jeans? He was wearing those jeans in the first game. The same exact jeans. Those jeans have been through so much. And that watch. And a lot of people are saying, well, why was he wearing this watch? It didn't work. In the first game, multiple times, Ellie asks him, hey, why are you wearing that watch? It's broken. It's not working. That's because when Sarah died, it's exactly when the clock stopped and when it got broken. When that soldier came and started shooting. So that reminds him of Sarah's death. But it also reminds him of the gift that Sarah gave him. So that was very important to him, very sentimental to him, to have this watch, to remind him of Sarah. And I think this is why he started opening up to Ellie and start caring about Ellie a little bit more. Especially after Tess died. You know, in the first game, the Tess died. Which reminds me, I should definitely replay the original one, Definitive Edition. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. And of course, the gun, the smuggler gun that he used. And there's that guitar. His guitar.
Everything okay?
And you see it, Texas. You see Texas State. Why is it Texas? Because that's where it's from. So these are little cool things, man. You know, you can look into. Look at the jacket, the stuff that he was wearing, you know, all these little tiny... Remember this backpack that he was carrying in the first game? Come on. You guys remember it. You guys remember it. Now, this question always pops. Everywhere I go in the forums, people ask, did Joel deserve to die? Did he deserve to die? Of course not. Of course he didn't deserve to die. Nobody deserves to die. Even the ones that you hate and don't like. You shouldn't wish ill to anybody. No one deserves to die. No matter what they have done. No one deserves to die. Let the God sort that out. But That's not how life works. Life is not fair. You can't control the outcome of certain destiny that's going to happen. Did he deserve to die? Of course not. But it's part of the story. It happened. Was it a great decision? Well, if it was up to me, okay, I'm not Neil Druckmann, and this is his story. This is his art. I can speak for myself. I cannot speak for Neil. This is his vision. You guys got to remember, he created this with Bruce. Him and Bruce. He was a creative director back then. This is their creation. This is what they created. They created this game. And he's the artist. This is his story. And he has every right to tell his story the way he wants to tell his story. Now, if I was director, obviously I would have taken a different approach. But again, it's not my game. It's not my story. It's Neil's story. We're just tagging along with the first one and with the second one. We're just experiencing what he is sharing. And I don't know why people have a difficult time like grasping that fundamental aspect. Because I just don't understand why some individuals wake up every morning and say, today is the day I'm going to make a shitty video about Neil Druckmann. Today I'm going to talk trash. Even though I never played the game, even though I only look at the leaks, but I'm going to trash him. I'm going to trash this game. I'm going to trash all the hard work he had put into this art and story. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't understand that, man. Now this is Maria. Everybody knows who Maria is. Tommy's girlfriend.
Maria, I'm headed to Seattle. I wish I could help you, but I can't. I have to bring these people to justice. Ellie's gonna try to come after me, but stop her. Take her guns, lock up the horses, maybe lock her up. Buy me some time so I can end this. Love you always, Tommy. He's gonna get himself killed.
He should have taken me with him. You should have given us a group to go after those fuckers.
I wish I could.
You gonna try to lock me up?
I prefer that you stay.
That's not gonna fucking
I
happen.
prefer that you stay, but I know you better. You going with her?
Yeah.
So you're just gonna sneak out of here? Hmm?
Yeah.
On foot?
Yeah.
Now, how would you feel if somebody came to you and said to you, hey Ellie, do you know if you go on this journey, you will dishonor him and you're going to lose Dina. You're going to lose that what you have cherished here so much. You're going to lose what you have earned here, all because of seeking for the revenge. But at that point, at that time, at this moment, the person is blinded by the revenge, and the person cannot see or foresee what's coming ahead in the future, because we're blinded by the revenge. And that's the sad poetic tragedy of this story. It is tragic, you know, because we as humans, we can't let it go. We can't let it go, man. And that's one of the hardest things. All right, so there's one more thing I wanna just go really quickly over here before I end this, because I felt like the main reason I was doing this little discussion about The Last of Us 2, because I felt it's important to clarify some confusion that people have about this game. And that confusion is, why isn't this game tailored made for me? That's the question everybody's asking. Why isn't this game tailored made for me? Well, guess what? No game is tailor made for anyone. The first Last of Us, we didn't know how people, I mean, who knew how you're gonna feel in the first game after Sarah loses her life and then Joel continues on as a smuggler? How do you feel about Joel? Is he doing the right thing? Is he honoring Sarah by being a smuggler? You know, look, we have to, what I'm trying to say is this, without butchering this. Game developers, storytellers like David Mamet, Dean Koontz, these are novelists, these are writers, these are storytellers, film directors, they're all storytellers, video game designers, video game developers, they're storytellers. Hideo Kojima, it's a storyteller. They're sharing. Same thing with the Days Gone. Bend Studio from Oregon. They're all sharing their story. And that's what it's all about. And we have to accept it for what they're sharing. If I create a music, if I create a song, I'm sharing my song. And I hope maybe you will like it. But it's okay if you don't like it. It is fine if you don't like it. But remember, I'm not making a song to cater to a certain demographic. I'm making a song because I want to share how I feel with the rest of you. So that's what this is about, man. And this is the point that I swear to God, these certain YouTubers out there who are just doing it for the money, they will never accept that. They will never accept that. But they know better. But they know better. Alright, so there you go. I hope this clarifies some things about this game. I still have a theory that Abby was bitten. But that's my theory. I know I cannot prove it, but that's my theory. And I think purposely that's being left out for whatever reason. The way Neil and that girl Haley, the way they worked on this story, maybe they purposely wanted to keep that secret. And that boy, wouldn't know so much about that boy Lev either. So the way I look at it is this: I'm optimistic about the part 3. I think there's so much here in part 3 that can happen, and it can move forward. And I believe The Last of Us Part 3 could put a closure to this trilogy of The Last of Us. And I hope that they will make part 3. If they do, they should, in my opinion, because we are left hanging here on the part 2. And I have a feeling that they will make a part 3. Whenever that is, 2025, 2026, 2027, whenever that is, or 2028, whenever that is. But this game definitely, desperately needs the part 3 to truly put a closure to Ellie's story, Abby's story, and just kind of like put this whole trilogy intact. So that's how I feel. Okay, so again, you guys can write down on the comments, give your opinions, give your theories. I have my theories about this game. These are my theories. Doesn't mean that my theory is right, but it also doesn't mean that it's wrong, because it's a theory. I have a theory about Abby and who Abby might be, and possibly she might be immune as well. Possibly. It's just she doesn't know. That kid could be immune, because I refuse to believe that only Ellie is the only immune. You know, I have this theory that there's more than just Ellie that's immune. And I think that's something that could make it put a closure on the part 3, and that's something that could make part 3 seal the whole trilogy intact, like close the chapter of this trilogy, and that's that. What is your theory, Thomas Slater? How you doing, by the way, Thomas? No, go ahead. I want to hear it before you write it down. I'm curious about. Oh, I know, dude. I know you were joking, dude. Don't worry about it. Everybody knows she's not a trans. I mean, first of all, Neil said he wouldn't hide that secret. Why would he hide that secret? Hold on. He's going to be open about someone being a lesbian, but then, oh, I'm going to hide that someone's being a trans. No, he wouldn't hide it. He would have just showed it to you. But no, she's not. She's a female. She always was a female. Only those idiots out there who trash the game will say such a stupid, ridiculous, disrespectful thing like that, man. But I know you were joking, dude. Fallen Angel, you think? Did I like the game? Oh yeah, dude, I love the game. I gave it a 10 out of 10 easily. That's a good point, Fallen Angel. That's a good theory. You know, she could be immune. And you know, the reason I mentioned the Abby and being immune, because that's being circulated. It's being circulated on Reddit. It's being circulated on Neil Druckmann Twitter, and it's been asked quite a bit. This question has been asked a little bit, and it's been circulating. It's been circulating a little bit, and she could be. Because here's my thing. I just refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that Ellie is the only immune person, immune female. I just refuse to believe that. Oh, you should definitely get the OLED, man, for 50. I'm gonna do a review on next Friday, July 10th. Definitely check that review. It's 7 minutes 11 seconds. Then after that, I'll do a bunch of videos on the OLED. As a matter of fact, I'm on the OLED right now. I'm actually looking at this through my OLED, and what you guys cannot see it obviously, but you know, this just looks magnificent on the OLED, man. He reminds me of Chris Christopherson. I swear to God, dude. I don't know if you guys know who Chris Christopherson is. Jesus. Some of you probably will know. Oh my goodness, Thomas Slater, Bran. Your jaws will drop. You're gonna have to look. Hopefully, you can find your jaw when it drops. You stepping up into like night and day, bro. It's like night and day difference. I don't know how else to tell you this, except you're jumping into night and day difference, and holy shit. We got some more characters here. Hey, this is another Joel here. I love this one. This is the Jesus Christ, man. This is so weird. He looks exactly like my father now, like with this pose. He looks exactly like my father. That's crazy. You should go for it, man. Thomas, brother, I have tested 5 different OLEDs throughout 3.5 years, and I can't say enough of good things, man, because it's something you really have to bring home to truly understand the value of LG OLED. The amount of features that they're packing, the quality, the build quality, Dolby Atmos built inside a panel, the processing chip, the user interface, magic remote control. My goodness, I mean the list goes on and on and on. 120 hertz refresh rate with the built-in G-Sync, HDMI 2.1, 40 megabits per second. I'm sorry, 40 gigabits per second. GBS, 40 gigabits per second. So it is just perfect. Perfect. Anyway, I got a phone ringing, dude. I gotta pick that up. Joel is calling. No, Neil Druckmann is calling. Neil is calling. It's like, hey, dude, don't spoil the part 3, dude. Don't spoil the part 3. All right, listen. Anyway, I know this game it's 50-50, but I think as time. Here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say before I leave, and I do mean this in all sincerity, because you know I have spent 12 days playing this game. You know I have done solid this game for 12 days. I have put a lot of effort to pay respects and tribute to this game with 12 days to understand it better and better. Here's what I want to say. I know it's been only 12 days since this game is released, and it's going to take a while for people to truly grasp why this game is so unique, why this part 2 it's considered a masterpiece. It's going to take time for people to understand it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next month or the month after or by the end of this year. But I think by 2022, by 2023, this game will grow on people and they will understand it better and better. Right now, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing the bigger picture because they're flooded by all of these negativities out there being put on the internet. But I think over time, gamers will understand the bigger picture here, in my opinion. They will understand the bigger picture of this game. So there you go. That's all I have to say. That's my opinions. That's my philosophy. That's my theory. Okay, I have a theory on Abby, but apparently to some people, like that clown that I had earlier on this live stream, apparently according to millennials, it's not bad enough they want to cancel you, but at the same time you can form your opinion, and at the same time you also cannot form any theory. Like, you can't have any theories either. And that's millennials for you. Millennials. Alright guys, I'm out, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Have a good one.